So now we have a milk house, a summer kitchen, and a butcher shop all in one. What do you call something like that? Good afternoon. I'm finally putting together a video that I told everyone on Instagram I would make about our big project for this year. Every year, we kind of have one big project for the farm and like 1,000 little projects, of course. The first year we were here, our big project was getting the new roof on the barn. Last year, our big project, which I actually never really talked about, was getting a bunch of electrical work done. It was basically just a really boring several $1,000 project. This year, though, our big project is converting the back half of our garage. So there's 2 stalls on our garage, and then there's a third stall. Go around the backyard. There's actually a third stall that is about 17 feet by 17 feet. It's a big square. Right now, we just have our freezers there. It's kind of a catch-all for just a bunch of junk that we don't want to have in the house, and it's right off the mudroom, so I just throw stuff there. We are going to be converting it. We're going to put up a wall to separate it from the front of the garage, which is Tommy's workshop, from the back. And we are going to be making something amazing. So the initial part of this project really started last summer, I guess, when I got really sick of having all of our milking pails and jars and everything that goes with having a dairy cow in the kitchen. It was just a lot of extra dishes, basically. So I told Tommy I wanted to see if we could find some type of utility sink. I looked, of course, on Facebook for like months and months and never found anything. And then one day he came home with this beauty. So once we finally got the sink, we were trying to decide, where do we put it? So we decided that the back part of the garage would be the best spot for it. It'd be convenient as far as I could have a milk fridge in the garage, deal with all of the milk at the sink, and then easily go get it from the house as I needed it. There's also plumbing right on the other side of the wall. So after we had the idea that we were gonna do our kind of milk house in the back of the garage, I started thinking about summertime when I have tons and tons of produce coming in. And again, it's taking up my sink, it's taking up my counter. So I was like, you know what? I bet we could fit some type of table back here, and we could get a little propane burner, and I could do canning back in this area too. And it will be like my modern version of a summer kitchen. So then we did our pig processing for the year. We did 3 pigs this year. It was intense, but it wasn't unmanageable. But my biggest complaint is just that I have my kitchen in a state of chaos for like 2 weeks while I'm dealing with pig cuts and sausage and things that are curing. So then we kind of realized, you know, having that back part of the garage also be like a butcher shop a few times a year when we're doing chickens and pigs would really be nice. So now we have a milk house, a summer kitchen, and a butcher shop all in one. What do you call something like that? So I decided that we are going to call it the scullery. It fits. If you look up the definition of a scullery, it's basically a room in the back of the kitchen where you do all of like the dirty prep work, the skinning of animals, to my understanding. So the scullery is the big project of the year. So normally we are definitely budget conscious and we do things very minimally. This project, when we thought about the fact that we are going to be hosting a hog processing workshop and how many different months of the year that we're going to spend in there processing food, it just makes sense to make it a really nice place. It will keep the chaos out of our own kitchen. This is the big project of the year. I'm going to kind of give you the details in this video of what the layout is going to be. I'd love your feedback if you think that there's anything that we're forgetting. And then I also promised I would share the budget so that you guys can see how much we're spending on this or what we're planning to spend. Just keep in mind though, it's not going to be bare bones. It's going to be really awesome. So we've still got to get some materials, but I did get one thing for it. Do not mind the barn swallow poop, but I got not one, not two, not three, but 4 stainless steel tables. They were $100 each off of Craigslist. These ones are obviously not put together, but it's all there. These are actually all not going to fit in that space, but that's okay because I think we will probably keep 1 or 2 of them in there, and then 1 or 2 of them will go in the trailer that has all of our chicken processing stuff. But I'm excited about this workspace. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the space, freshly cleaned out, and kind of explain what the layout's gonna be, where things are gonna go, and then we will talk about the budget. All right, so here's what we're starting with for our project. My hope is that we'll have it done by next November for a hog butchering class. But basically what our plan is, it might not happen right away, but eventually this is going to be just a window instead of a door so that we can have a stainless steel counter here. This stuff's all going to come off and we're going to have our milk fridge right there. This door is going to move to around the corner and we're going to have our big commercial sink here. And then this step right here is going to be a wall to separate the back room from the front of the garage. So this wall will have 2 upright freezers and then our long chest freezer and then actually maybe a 3rd upright freezer. And we will have a door kind of where that one, it'll come in straight and there'll be another door right here with a little step to get down. So that's the plan. We also hope to have an island to work at. This big door will eventually get replaced with just some French doors to let in some more light. Here is a little look at what the layout is going to be, just to give you a better visual. So this is where the overhead door is right now that we're going to change to French doors. And then that man door that's going to become a window will be here with a stainless steel table. Tommy actually thinks he'd rather like to have the milk fridge over here, so that might be there or it might not. This is a door that will add on later to a future walk-in cooler. That goes to the root cellar. We have our big sink here. This will be the new door that will go into the garage to the mudroom. And then all of our freezers over here. And somewhere we'll have shelving, of course, to store things. But this little spot in the middle, I talked about doing an island. We actually have a big metal table that my father-in-law made for laying pigs on while we're scraping. And literally, we won't use it for anything else, 364 days a year. So our thought was we could bring it into here and get a butcher block countertop for it and use it as a workspace when we don't need it for scalding and scraping. So that is roughly the size of it for there. And then I also don't know if I mentioned it, but the floors are obviously concrete. The walls are going to be metal, like just corrugated metal about 5 feet up, so that way it'll be super easy to hose down if we need to. We do want to add a drain in the middle that we can have to just squeegee water and stuff into. And the ceiling right now is just like kind of like a particle board ceiling. We are going to update that with something a little bit nicer. So here's a breakdown of what's in our budget. I will say that we have the blessing to have a lot of Amish around us, so we can get both wood and metal from the Amish mills for significantly cheaper than if we had to buy it from lumber stores right now, which are just ridiculous. So we're actually spending a lot less on materials than we would have to if we were somewhere else. So, but these are the main things. I didn't break it down into like every little thing, but all of the big stuff, I wanted to have a good idea of what it was going to cost. Obviously the stainless steel tables we already have, but I'm including them in the full budget just so you can see what it's costing for everything. Same with the sink. I actually also have the window already that I got off of Facebook, I think. Other than that though, I still need to find some French doors, the metal sheeting, the drain and all of the setup for the drain. We need to get a new door for the mudroom, wood for framing the wall, drywall, new lighting just to have really more lighting in there, paint. There'll be just some miscellaneous plumbing and electrical for setting up the sink and putting outlets on the new wall. And then the ceiling I want to have be all wood, since it's going to be concrete and metal on the walls and floors and stainless steel tables and counters. I just wanted to have a wood ceiling as something to make it have a little bit of character. Again, this isn't a bare bones budget for a project like this. We are making it nice and something that we would like, but I also don't feel like we're spending a crazy amount. So here are the estimated numbers for everything. And the total is, let's call it $3,000. So $3,000 is the budget. The only thing that might be above that is if we hire somebody to do the window and the French doors, which we're kind of thinking if we can for a reasonable price, it would be worth it just to get the ball rolling because Tommy's time is so limited. And though he's fully capable of doing it, somebody else could do it faster. But I'm excited. I think if we can stay in that budget, it will be well worth it considering the countless number of hours that I'm gonna spend in there. Canning with a little propane stove and every single day processing and storing all of my milk stuff, and just for the sake of having a clean and cleanable space when we're doing all of our processing and packaging. I know we're gonna get a lot of use of it. So if there's any details about this that I didn't think of, let us know now so that we can make adjustments before we really get started. Otherwise, I will post some videos as we have some progress. Have a good day.